How's it going, everyone? Derek from Make Media Studios, and we have now worked through all of our guests, and we are now returning back to the very first guest of the podcast. We have Gio Silva. Thank you for being a last-minute guest here. This is like the latest I've ever filmed it. We're filming it on a Friday, and it's supposed to come out tomorrow. So, how's it going, bud?
It's an honor to be here. I think you have a really great show. I'm doing really well. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just living life. And hey, nice bedroom. I like it.
Thank you. We just moved right now, and it's kind of hard during all this COVID, everything going on in the world, and but the bright side, we just moved like 2 blocks away from my old house, so it's like I can't complain too much.
I didn't realize
really easy.
Yeah, I didn't realize how close it was until like I went yesterday to drop off that mic to you, and it was literally 2 blocks from your old house.
Yeah. So,
dude, it's a nice place though.
It is nice. It's a nice change. My room feels more like me now. I'm ready to start a new chapter. So I'm clean and streamlined, and I don't know. It's just cool. And I'm living with my uncle, my dad, and one of my best friends. So. It's a cool change.
It's kind of a Giggly Dickens house.
It kind of is. It's the first, it's the origin house. So it's going to, this is going to be the house where we start pumping out content. It's going to be really cool.
I like it. So you're going to build a little studio area. Is that right? As you were thinking?
The whole garage we're going to turn into, literally, I guess, like the basic command. We're going to put a couple desks in there, lots of storage. There's even talks of like maybe hanging up a green screen for, we don't have to take it down or up. It's there. So like a green screen wall if we ever need it.
I guess
that kind of stuff.
If you want to start addressing people, like besides just doing the smaller, besides just doing the short stories, if you want to start addressing people kind of like Film Riot and stuff like that, where they actually make kind of tutorial based stuff, a green screen would be kind of nice because then you can like talk about things. I'm not sure if you want to do any of that. You interested in anything like that or just the short stories?
I don't think I'm a good teacher. I think like, we know film teachers and they are very good at saying what's in books and bringing it to real life, to lecture or whatever.
Yeah. I'm
not good at that. I learn by trial. I go out there and I try and I figure out my ways of getting through it. But sure, I mean, maybe I'll do something. You can help me with it because you're obviously the pro. I love your videos.
Thank you.
So you can help me. Yeah, you can help me with that because it's kind of hard to put yourself on screen and talk about something. And you're like always probably going through your head going, okay, I could probably do that better. Oh no, I missed something. And it's nerve wracking, I have to say. And I'm an actor and I feel like even a more instructional, teaching video is probably kind of hard to film.
It is a little difficult. I've been doing things off script, so I just kind of talk and go, and then I, mess up and I have to go back and start over, and then I just kind of build it in the edit. But what I'm starting to notice is I'll make a whole video like about import and export, which I did. And then I literally the next day I changed my workflow because I found out something new. So that video is great, but I actually do something different almost the next day. So when I find that something, I explain something and then I learn, I'm always learning more, right? So it's
every
hard.
day.
When you learn something and then you try to teach someone something and then you learn more and realize that you could have done something better. It's a vicious circle.
I had like a funny idea where I do the same thing as you, but I do it completely wrong.
That would be good.
So it would be like, this is how you do it. It's like a train wreck. And then it's like, well, I did start yesterday, but this is me learning. So we're in this together.
I think what we should do is almost make that a segment on Make Media. What we could do is we can have us both try to teach one thing and we'll just we'll intercut to them. So we'll start with me doing my intro and then be like, all right, now off to Gio to tell you this next part. And then you're like, I can't even get my computer to start.
Yeah.
Where's the power button?
I don't even have Photoshop. Like I have to wait for it to download and then set up my account.
That would be funny. You'll be like, all right, so now on to the next step. Gio, have you loaded your photo into Photoshop? And I'll keep cutting to you and you'll be like,
oh, I'm like the student. I'm like dude, I'm fucking lost. Like,
I think I have the mouse upside down. I don't know how this is working.
Yeah. That could be funny. Yeah.
That actually would be a good one. They just gave me a new idea. We'll have to go that direction maybe.
There you go.
I'm like writing a Cinematography 101 kind of, so I get my ideas from people I work with, right? And so for you, my video for you that I'm making, which will be this next Wednesday, is the camera settings to film something. Just your basic, everything you need to know about cinematography, crash course, shutter, ISO, exposure, using it on a camera. I'm making that video for you this week.
Really? Okay, this is I swear to God, like right now on YouTube, the amount of content coming out from my subscriptions, like your channels you subscribe to, is super low. So every time your channel comes out with something, I swear to God, if it's a podcast, I turn it on like immediately. I don't care what I'm doing. I love your guys' podcast, and I love your guys' what would you phrase it as? The
education
crash course.
Yeah,
like,
a little like,
yeah.
It's interesting. So I made a few now. Since you were on this podcast the first time, you're now episode 8. So it's been 8 weeks and I've done 8 episodes of tutorials. And the first time you were on the podcast, I had just made my very first like how to edit a photo in Lightroom. But then I like did it's okay. So it's weird because I can't remember. So watching you and Giggly Dickens and some of like the things when some of your videos kind of like popped off randomly, you always explained that to me. And you showed me like, it's like all of a sudden one video just starts getting a lot of views. I'm starting to notice that with like, I did a color checker one with my color checker card. That video has like 18 likes right now. And it's like 160, maybe 150 views. And every day I'm getting like 15, they're coming from the YouTube search engine. So something I did with that one, title and just thumbnail wise, is grabbing people's attention. And it's interesting to see how sometimes it's weird.
And that's very important. I don't think people understand how important your thumbnail is and your phrasing. Like in the beginning of Giggly Dickens, I was very proud with how I, titled the videos. I thought it was like below me to put like action short video or a zombie short film because it's a short, they should know. But it matters a lot. Like, especially when it comes to the search engine, it will put those into those categories that people search up. So probably I've seen your thumbnails are really blue and they're really colorful and they're really lit well. Mm-hmm. And I just think like if you look at the category for your color box or whatever that's called, there's not that many out there that are your like length of time. You do these videos that aren't too long and aren't too short, and they give you just the right amount of information. So I think that's what makes you stand out besides the 30-minute one or the a minute one in someone's garage. You know what I mean?
I try to hit that almost 15-minute mark.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. And like I said, it could be a year from now, and somehow that video gets seen by someone or shared, and then it basically that's what's cool about YouTube for the rest of the time. Or the rest of the time you have your video on YouTube, it's gonna get views and it's gonna go through spikes and drops, and it's
very interesting.
Really cool.
That's where I'm getting a lot of my subscribers actually. Like I watch that, like the analytics are interesting because you can see where your subscribers are coming and from what video, and so like that one's getting me subscribers and that one's kind of popping off, which is kind of cool. And I think and then I get down when I like post something and it doesn't go off right away, but then I realize that later it might.
Oh, yeah. And I know about that, too. Imagine having a 1 million viewed video and you're like, this one is way better than that one. And then you release it, 100 views the first day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why? No.
It's hard.
So it's you really kind of get in your own head and you just got to be like, nope, just let the internet take it and it will,
speaking of thumbnails,
get around.
Kermwick. I think that's another reason why Kermwick popped off too. Not just your, okay, so I was watching some thumbnail YouTube videos and they're explaining like YouTube's colors are red, so you want to go like a blue or a color that's not in the YouTube logo or the YouTube application, so it pops more. So like my blue backgrounds do work really good for that. Your Kermwick shot, I mean, it's Kermwick holding a gun and it's behind a big blue sky and it just pops. And I think a lot of people see that and they're like, is that Kermit the Frog with a gun? And that's definitely like something that probably grabs people.
It has to be. I don't know. Like right now, so we just hit 2 million and we got 100,000 views after we hit 1 million in like less than 3 weeks.
Right.
it doesn't. I wish it could tell you like what drives your viewer to your video. Is it the thumbnail? Is it the title?
Yeah, you
Or
don't
is
know.
it what?
You just know that it's
I don't know.
either the search engine or external, right? You know
Yeah.
it's coming from Instagram posts, or it's coming from your YouTube search, or it's coming through click through, which is like, or from another video.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's a lot to learn.
It's a lot to learn, and it kind of makes you think. I could stay in the analytics page on your YouTube studio for about a good 30 minutes and look through. It's really cool how it shows you the amount of people per day, and then how it drops off and how it spikes. It's
weird.
I don't know. It's
like
crazy.
I'll go a day where I can get like 10 or 12 subscribers, and then all of a sudden I feel like it just stops for a couple days.
But then it comes right back.
And then it comes right back. So I'm so close to 100. I remember when you guys did 100. We were in the classroom.
Dude, we did a video and we made it like a million subscriber video, but it was only to get to 200. And we were like, guys, we're 37 subscribers away. Please just help us get there.
Yeah.
And it was this, it's not pathetic, but it's really cool to look back. But it was hilarious because I know what that feels like. I know, and you're going to get there. It's just, how much more do you guys have? Or how much do you have?
I'm at like 95. I got 95 subscribers.
Dude, you got 5 more.
Right.
You gotta have a party.
Yeah.
You have to have
My
a party.
first 100.
Yes.
I'm excited for like the 1,000, the 10,000. We'll see. I gotta just push. I know if I just keep creating content, it'll grow, because that's what's happening. It's like it's exponential. The more content you create, the more people you reach and stuff like that.
And you know what I wanted to do? I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I wanted to see if you want to go to VidCon this year, or like these. I know this year is the worst year to go, but you know what I mean.
When
the
is
next
it
one?
the year? When does that happen?
I don't know, to be honest, but I want to go to it because I feel like being in a place with people that all have something to do with YouTube or the internet is great for you and your company, your brand, or whatever. And I feel like that'd be great for us to meet people. Maybe you get to meet Potato Jet or Potato Jet.
Potato Jet.
Gene, yeah. Imagine you met him.
Right.
And you just got him on an episode as a guest. That's
what I would love. I'd love to get some of these bigger YouTubers that I admire and be on my podcast, just to talk to them about like how they did everything and what they're doing, project wise. I don't know. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't got the nerve up. So I'm Facebook friends with this actor that I met on a set through school. Said hi to him a couple times. He probably saw me on set. I don't know if he even remembers me, but we're friends on Facebook. I see his posts all the time. And he seems like a really nice guy. And I just haven't got the nerve yet to ask him, be like, hey man, do you want to be on my podcast? Because he's an actor in LA, and it would be cool to pick his brain about how he got there and what the world's like. And he was in Ford versus Ferrari. Like he was in a couple big.
That's a big deal. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he seems you cool. So you
should do it.
Shout out here to the future if I actually make a podcast with him.
What's his name?
Oh, don't do that to me.
Say it.
Oh, well, I don't know.
All I have to say is this. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It can. The worst thing that can happen, he says, I'm too busy, or no. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why not?
Oh man, yeah, no, I'm gonna.
So what was his name?
See, you're messing with me now, because like I don't have his name memorized. See, I don't know his name now. Now I'm sitting here blushing on my own podcast because I don't remember his name. Thanks, Gio.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
I might cut this out. Anyways. No, don't. No, don't. I think I'm terrible with names. I know you are.
Me too. Oh yeah, me. I make nicknames for everybody. Like with Potter, Daniel Potter. I call him Potter just because Harry Potter. I know a guy named what's his name? Oh God, Nolan. Something Nolan. He's one of Joe's really good friends, and I only can remember Nolan because of Christopher Nolan. So. That's how I do it. Yeah. I have to connect your name with something.
I've seen you on set. It's kind of funny sometimes when you're trying to figure people's names out.
No. Well, yeah, we'll have like extras on set, and there'll be like 4 or 5 new people, and one's named Daniel, and then Jane, and then Samantha, and I'm just like, Jared, and they're like, that's not my name. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll try to get the next time. And
it's great that you attempt though.
I try. I mess up though a lot.
My biggest problem is
off.
I call a lot of, this is now if everyone's going to know my trick here. I do say bud or friend, or I say like, those type of words because I'm really bad with names. And so it's easier for just call them like a, hey, what's up, man? Like it's just,
yeah.
It's really
the
hard
thing
for me.
I have this stupid, it backfires in my face, but I always want to make you feel like, oh, this guy cares for you on set.
Right.
So I kind of, but I fail 100% of the time. Yeah. I try to like, if I know their name, they know I know their name, and I talk to them, by their name, and you're not just like a number to me, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then it backfires because I'm like, her name's Samantha. 5 minutes later, hey Susie, can I get you over here?
Yeah,
and it makes them even
Susie.
probably more mad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it actually brings up a funny story. For Runners 1, I don't think you were with us at that time, helping us with like cinematography. And
the only thing I did for Runners 1 was the drone shot.
Drone shot, and I'm so sorry.
We don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, we don't. What do you call it? So this guy comes, and I think to this day I can't remember. His name's Jacob. I'm pretty sure it's Jacob. And he came, and he was super. He's actually not a bad actor. He's really talented. We only got to use him that one time. Really, he works a lot. Point is though,
I know Jacob. You're talking about Jacob from our class.
Yeah, huge arms. He had like fucking.
Yeah, well, he's like a bodybuilder. Well, he's a trainer at my gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Jacob. Olympia. Yeah. He's built. He's a nice guy.
He's gotten so much more built too over like the last couple years.
Really?
Yeah, though he's big now.
I don't know.
His arm. Last time we saw him, like, think about when he was in Runners 1.
Arnold. Yeah, he had Arnold arms. He had like, but like he started to get kind of mad at me because I didn't get his name right. So every time I'd say, hey, Gerald, or hey, whatever I said, he'd go, it's Jacob.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, please. And he did great. He didn't complain about filming, but it was like, I felt so bad. And he was, at the end of the day, he's like, but that happens.
It does happen. Well, Runners 1, my drone, that was a fun time. Since we were just on that subject, I thought we'd bring it up. One of the very first shoots I went to, I had the first Mavic Pro, and we filmed a shot of people running down. It's called Runners, makes sense. People running, and I went right into a power line and into a field.
Oh yeah, this is when you now put the video in this episode. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, here, just and just flies away. We'll just put it right here.
Yeah, and it was crazy because Derek had his head down like this.
Yeah. And
then it happened, and he goes, "Where to go? Where to go?" And everybody's like, "Oh!" And he didn't see that. I don't think you saw the crash. The crash was better than the footage.
I bet.
Crash, it like took off the wing and it just spiraled into the field. But we found it, right? You found it.
I still have it. I still have it. It's just sitting in a case.
That's a good memorabilia.
But what was funny was I just, because I see the camera and it just goes black and I'm like, what just happened? But because what happened was we were running, everyone was running a little bit uphill. So and the drone levels itself off. So as I'm flying forward, it's getting closer to the people because they're running uphill and the drone's going parallel with the ground, right? So what was weird was as I started to like go, and we end the shot, I'd want to go up real quick because I didn't want to hit anyone because I was going really fast. So
it was like I call it like the helicopter shot,
right?
Where it was like
I want a helicopter shot. I want a helicopter shot. So
and you're like, that's cool. What does that mean?
Yeah, this is when I first learned how to deal with your directing, which I don't mind actually. I think we work really well together.
It's like be honest, we're like a married couple. That's how we are.
You have to get used to that person in the way that they ask for things because you get crazy ideas or you jump all over the place. No offense.
Yeah. No, I do. It's just because I'm a creative person. I'm a creative butterfly. But no, I'll think of a shot and I'm like, wait, because you can storyboard a shot, but when you're in the location finally, or you haven't been there in a while, you're like, wait, with this lighting, this other angle is like the way to go. So then you might be getting set up with that heavy camera setup, and then I might be like, wait, hear me out. And you're just like,
I'm holding it.
Hurry up.
Well, that's the thing. You'll do that too. It's like, I'll sit there and I'll get the camera ready and I'll be like, rolling. And then you'll be like, okay. And then you start giving the actor, you're like, all right, so what I want you to do. And I'm like, Gio, you're directing them and I'm holding the camera.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Just sometimes, I'm working out the quirks. it's a learning process.
See, you got me to blush. Now I'm getting you to blush.
Yeah. Well, I've been blushing for the past like 5 minutes. But no, hearing about when you said when I remember the drone, I was like, oh, I feel so bad. I remember that was like your first day with us too, and.
So what I was saying was I was flying right over everyone's head, and I just want to take off real quick to get high up so I didn't hit anyone, and I hit a power line. That's all that happened.
Yeah, and remember you were talking about that too before we got there. You were talking about that you can't fly too close because of interference or something.
Right, because the power lines.
And I just thought that was
knocked it right out of the sky.
It was the darkest foreshadowing of that day.
Yep, this is all before I got my drone license. I have a new drone now. I have a drone license. I think I'm a better drone operator now.
Oh yeah, dude. When they see Runners 3, there's some drone shots in there where it's like, that's going to catch a lot of eyes.
That one across the house and everyone's running through the front yard and then everyone on the roof. Like, that's just a great shot. There was one shot you wanted to do that I was having so much problems doing on the spot that Was it
the hill shot?
Yeah, when you wanted to follow everyone up the hill because the drone didn't, it's hard to like go up.
Yeah, go up and while going forward.
But I realize now actually that there was a solution to that. There's waypoints.
So we're going back.
You wanted to go back.
I'm just kidding.
No, there's a solution. You can do waypoints. I could have done one waypoint at the front of the driveway at that elevation, and then I could have flown forward, went to the next elevation, and then put another waypoint, and it would have just flown between those two spots naturally without me even having to doing anything.
But see, you didn't learn that in a classroom. You've learned that through
watching YouTube videos.
And also, you learn stuff on the spot. Like, yeah, so that's awesome. So next time we know. That's great.
Well, same thing with my gimbal. I was talking to Daniel about this recently. I realized my gimbal's always stationary like this, right? I never let it dip down or dip up. There's a setting in there that I can push the camera like this and the camera should go up, and then I pull it down and the camera will go down.
That's really useful. Damn it. That's cool.
So there's a setting in my thing, which I haven't actually tried yet, but I'm going to set it to that.
And if you think about how many shots do we need that on
a lot.
The past,
So now we can do that. Speaking of crazy gimbal shots, okay, I was trying to explain to you this the other day. There's now another video on YouTube I watched today about these fake RE Trinities.
Yeah,
okay,
you were telling me.
So have you seen an RE Trinity?
I did. You like you said, you can watch it on the behind the scenes of 1917.
Right.
And you see the ones.
Right.
They're basically like you said. It's a gimbal on a Steadicam.
Mm-hmm. And I looked it up. So it's $56,000 for that gimbal, steady arm, everything. And I bet you there's still things you have to buy on top of that to build. Build
cords, weights, and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's holding $100,000 cameras, so I get that it's $50,000. So. Mm-hmm. I've been watching.
Imagine putting a Sony on that, little Sony, one of ours.
It would just be so sturdy,
so small, and just over.
Well, building these fake ones, people are doing them for like $500. They're buying a fly cam, a cheap fly cam, and putting like a Zion crane gimbal on the top of it, and then building one of those really cheap. I want to get to a point where I actually have more of a steady cam arm, like a little more expensive with the vest and the arm. The Crane 3S is the newest. Remember when we bought our gimbal? Mm-hmm. You have the same gimbal. I think it was I bought it for $700.
I bought mine for $500 on Black Friday.
Right. So I had, when it first came out, you bought it for $500. Now it's like $250 or $300.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh god.
It's super cheap. Their top of the line gimbal that Zion Zune, I think I say their name wrong all the time. Their top of the line 3S that can hold RED cameras go for $700 now.
That's it?
Yes.
That's not bad at all.
So if I get the big one, right? And I get the Steadicam arm. Then if I buy, like, I want to get the FX6, which is going to be like the replacement to the FS5 sometime this summer. It's a rumor. But that's going to be a bigger camera. And I was worried that I wouldn't be able to have a gimbal that can hold that. But since this gimbal can hold REDs, it can hold a Sony.
Should hold the FS6. Yeah.
Right. So I have a Steadicam arm, the FS6, and on a brand new Crane 3S.
Well, there you go. And then by that time, you can sell the crane you have right now for about $100.
Yeah, I can sell it for about $150 and maybe buy some of the weights or cables I need to finish what I want.
It's crazy how so expensive it is. Like, it's so expensive.
Right.
But It's worth it though. I mean, you can see it in the film too, like how and on set how easy it is to get the shots you want.
Right.
Right. It pays to have that luxury.
It's a really cool thing, and I'm seeing more people make these cheaper ones, and it's like I want to build
$500. When you said $500, I was like, holy cow.
Well, think about a fly cam, like a cheap fly cam is like $200 or $300, and then you can get our gimbal now. It's the only problem with our gimbal that we have is you know how that back motor is on the actual back behind the monitor?
You can only go so far.
The newer gimbals like the Weeble S and stuff like that, they have that ability with the motor on the back towards the bottom that you can lift it down, right?
Yeah.
If you can do that, now you can put it on a Steadicam arm and you can go all the way to the floor.
All the way to the top.
With our gimbals we could only go about waist high before we'd start to hit that motor possibly on the camera. Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'd have to test it out because we'd have to look. We got to get our hands on a fly cam or like a cheap stabilizer.
And that could be a good video for your channel too. Think about it. There's trying to make it work.
Right. There's been a couple people that put them out, and I think that would be really, really cool.
And with ours, you can, adjust how big the camera is, and you know how it has the different points where you for balancing the camera, right? So you can maybe tweak with that a little bit, and you might be able to. But from what I've seen and from what we've seen on on set, and how much range we have, it is limited when you want to get lower, or that one shot where it starts from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. It's really limited. I feel like
that's why that's why the 3S and those newer cranes can do that. And that's the thing is you can get a Weeble now for probably $400 or $500. You can almost get it as much as our gimbals were when we bought it. So you can still get those top-down versions for the A7 III. I just want to buy the biggest one possible.
Because it's looking towards the future.
Right, so I can get that bigger camera on there. I mean, I'll still put my little Sony on there, and it'll be like a bigger gimbal, and it would look kind of crazy. But we'll see.
Well, yeah, man.
But if I had all the money in the world, that's what I would do. Right now, I don't have that.
I know.
My wife.
No one does.
Thank you to my wife. This is a shout out to her for controlling my money spending and helping me not overspend. She has helped me over the last year tremendously. I used to spend too much on camera equipment. I definitely hold that back now, and she helps me out. So I have to really convince her. I have to sell her on it. Like, be like, look,
why you need it.
Well, yeah. And I've been trying to explain that to her. Like, the next step for the business is to get a bigger camera. Not so much Giggly Dickens Productions, but because, no offense, you don't pay me. But
I don't pay anybody.
I know.
I'm not even getting paid.
I know.
That's the thing.
Well, we'll see where we're at a year from now.
Yeah. Maybe. And then you'll get some.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll all get some.
I'll get a meal stipend.
Yeah. You get MREs on set. Like, here's your lunch.
Yeah. Can I trade my MRE in for the meal stipend? Yeah, it's $250. Oh, I'll just take the MRE. Those are kind of cool.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I mean, but business-wise, companies like PayPal and these other tech companies that I work for, and the guy I work for, he's got a bigger camera, and the clients want to see that, and they expect that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to go to those sets with the smaller mirrorless camera. So I really will have to step up to that point. But once I do get one of those bigger cameras, the gigs should be there. There should be more people that will be able to hit me up and use me as just to, go out and film an interview, give them the raw data, and they'll be happy, which would be great. So yeah,
I think, especially with your talent too.
Thank you.
You'll find the work.
Me.
Yeah, I can't afford you, so
no. I've strictly made a point here on the podcast too, and other places that like there's a balance. And my balance is I can't say yes to everyone's film productions. I say yes to some of Trevor's, but I say yes to everything. You're my hobby.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Giggly Dickens and filming for you guys is my hobby. I still like to have the balance of having a hobby and doing it professionally to still have fun and make fun things like my YouTube channel and our videos, and then do corporate stuff to pay the bills.
Yeah, and dude, you will never understand how appreciative I am of you helping us out. Because, I mean, if you think back when we started like asking for your help, remember Blackout? Mm-hmm. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm. We used Grant's camera. No, we used the school's Scarlet.
School Scarlet, and that thing would overheat. We had big blocky batteries. But that was ever since then. It made the whole process a lot more fun, creative, and also teaching me to like let go of reins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you are a you are a cinematographer. You know the camera. You know how it works.
I try. I'm
Better
still
than-
learning.
Yeah.
But
I see. Look at me. I can't even remember half the things directors do, but I figure it out on the day. You know what I mean? We're all learning. But I think, yeah.
But don't worry. This next Wednesday, I'm going to have a crash course video for you to watch. And since
There
it's going
we
to
go,
pop
there
up
we
on
go,
your
there you
screen,
go.
you can click it and watch it.
Yeah. No. But no. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted.
Go
What
ahead,
I'm trying to say is that I'm happy that you're our hobby. Like, you are our DP. I'm very proud.
Well, I enjoy working with you guys. We have a lot of fun with all the people on our team, all the people that we've met going to all these shoots, the large productions that we've done. But what's funny is now that I look on it, how many videos do we have actually out on Giggly Dickens that I'm director of photography? We have Forgotten World.
Forgotten World. You also have...
See?
What?
So it's actually, you have a lot of things in the books that you haven't actually released yet. I mean, you have...
Yeah, I know. You see, here's the thing. You have Kermit coming out, and that's going to be a big one.
I
really think that one's going to blow up.
Dude, that video is really good. I love the colors. And I'm excited to color correct. Speaking of which, I need to get that soon.
And then Runners 3. It just feels like a lot of projects because Runners 3 took so much time to do.
It took a year and a half.
Well, it wasn't all like, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
It took a really long time. So you have Runners 3, Forgotten World, Kermwick. See, it's hard because I always ask you to help with other, let's say I have another DP and they live somewhere else. Like for Hollow Point, I needed you for one night to help me get these really important shots. Right. So I had my guy. You're my guy. You're my guy.
Thanks.
And I had my guy come and you helped me out. And it was like Hollow Point, you did a couple shots for that. You also did, I believe you helped us with Mormons a lot too when we did those pickup shots.
Right. What I think is funny is I look back on Forgotten World, that's your main video you have out for my cinematography. And again, I don't think that was when I just learned how to use my gimbal. I feel
that was when you just got your gimbal, remember?
We were running down the dirt paths with it for the first time that weekend. So we'll see. I want to see Runners. How far are you on that? What's your percentage? What do you got?
Ooh, it's about 70%. So
what are you missing?
I'm missing. So when we did this, so a little info into Runners 3. There's a huge zombie invasion scene or sequence.
Yeah.
With over 100 extras. We didn't get any coverage of any zombies for that. So we have to get a lot of coverage of just people running with blood on them. We don't have any of that. So when you see the final sequence, the main climactic fight of the episode, it's very one-sided. Mm-hmm. A lot of survivors, a lot of stuff going on with the good guys, but there's no coverage on the bad guys. And there's some other stuff.
You talking about the actual zombies and everything? We need more zombie shots?
Just not wides, close of them running.
Okay.
Because we don't have any coverage on that. Do
you have faces already? So can we shoot hands and legs and get that and people just get some artsy shots where we just get people running?
Well, I was watching 28 Weeks Later. What they do is they hook up a camera behind the head and then they run. Ooh. And then what happens is it shakes with the head, but the surrounding area is kind of steady. Okay. So there's that technique, but then that's I just said it, so that's coming from 28 Weeks Later. We can maybe do something like that.
Yeah. I can follow someone real close and just kind of be over their head and have them chasing people. But maybe saying is if you get a little artsy with it, let's get some feet running by and hands and get close-ups. So it's more because we can't get everyone mysterious. We can't get everyone in that makeup again and all that. It's kind of hard. No. And going wide, you can't get the same sets with everyone there.
Yeah, so we do the whole Steven Spielberg thing where you don't really see the infected. Yeah. You just, what scares you is the sounds, like you said, just those shots that it's them, but the camera won't show you what they look like. Right. That could be good too. Yeah, because if you think about it in zombie movies, you always see the infected, you always see the zombies, and it kind of takes away the scariness because you see so many. You're like, okay, I've seen it all. Yeah. So maybe that could be smart. Yeah, and that would be faster too to get it done. Yep.
Well, but I think we're actually wrapping up here. I'm getting to the end of this podcast today. So,
wow, that went by fast.
It did go by fast. I think that's where I'm gonna have you back a lot more often. So we're gonna go on to another one. I really do want to prick your brain more about what you learned as a director and things like that in the future. But we're gonna leave that for the next podcast.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks for catching up.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for catching up with me, and we'll talk to you soon. This has been another Make Media podcast, and we are out.